There will be days when the fire inside you dims. There will be mornings when quitting feels easier than continuing. But in those moments, when your heart is tired, when the finish line feels a million miles away, that is where commitment begins. Today, I want to talk to you about something we all admire, yet often underestimate: commitment. Not the kind that shows up when it's convenient, not the kind that's loud on day one, then silent by day 10. I'm talking about true commitment, the quiet promise you make to yourself and keep it even when no one is watching. Let me tell you a story from ancient Japan, a story of a boy named Takeshi. Takeshi grew up in a small village, poor and unnoticed. While other boys played, he would watch the samurai who passed through the town, their armor gleaming, their discipline unmatched. He wanted to be one of them, but everyone laughed. "You're too small," they said. "You're too weak, you don't belong with warriors." But Takeshi didn't argue. He just made a decision, a quiet, burning decision, to commit. Every morning before the sun rose, he trained. He carried buckets of water up hills to build strength. He copied sword forms in the air, even with no sword to hold. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. Still, the village mocked him. Still, he continued. Finally, after 5 long years, a traveling samurai noticed him. He watched the boy move with silent precision. Impressed, the samurai asked, "Who taught you this?" Takeshi replied, "I taught myself. I made a promise." That day he was invited to train with the warriors. Not because he was the strongest, not because he was the fastest, but because he was the most committed. And years later, that same boy, once called weak, became a master. Not because he had talent, but because he had commitment. Now, what about you? What have you started that you've been tempted to quit? What goal, what dream, what vision have you almost let go of because it was hard, because it was slow, because it didn't happen when you thought it would? Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's a business. Maybe it's a relationship. Or maybe it's a version of yourself that you know you're meant to become. Let me remind you, quitting is easy, but staying committed, that is power. Because commitment doesn't care about mood. It doesn't depend on motivation. Commitment says, even when I don't feel like it, I will show up. There will always be doubts. There will always be distractions. There will always be people who don't believe in you. But if you stay committed, you become unstoppable. Look at the bamboo tree. When you plant it, you water it for months, sometimes years, and nothing happens. No growth above the soil. But then, almost overnight, it shoots up more than 80 feet. That's how commitment works. You show up daily, and for a long time it feels like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, you are building roots. And one day, that breakthrough comes. And hey, if this message is resonating with you so far, if it's sparking something deep inside, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. Not just so you stay connected to motivational content like this, but because small actions create momentum, and momentum builds commitment. Now let's keep going. So the question is not, will it be hard? The answer is yes. The question is, will you stay committed anyway? Because the truth is, commitment isn't a moment, it's a mindset. It's what turns average into extraordinary. It's what makes the impossible possible. So today, if you're tired, rest. But don't quit. If you're lost, pause, but don't give up. If you're afraid, feel it, but keep moving forward. Your future self is watching, and they're counting on you to stay committed. Stay with the process. Trust the journey. Honor the promise you made to yourself. Because the world doesn't need more starters, it needs more finishers. And that begins with commitment.